This is Lee with 82 Gaming 12 on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. Yes, Halloween's over, but I haven't quite taken down and boxed up the Halloween stuff, so it's still there. And we are still playing Glory and Empire First Victories, Wellington's versus Napoleon. Lock and Load Publishing, designer Terry Doherty. This is the Vimeiro Scenario 4 in the companion book. And if you have the Western Ridge module, then it's Scenario 2. We're at the 1420 turn, and we've got two replacement leaders coming in. We've got, oops, can't really, I'll have to hold it up with my tweezers. That's the easiest thing to do. And let's see, there we go. Ironmonger is Ackland's replacement. And I don't think, let's see, he's only got one. Well, no, he doesn't have any units left. So I guess I'll just leave this unit off because he doesn't have anybody to command. So, I mean, this unit could still provide morale. So I guess I could leave him for that. But he would more than likely be off trying to reorganize whatever units he still, that were, that might have ran for the heels or whatever. So I'll just set him off to the side. And then the French have Bertrand, who, let's see, there we go, is replacing Charlot, the 2nd Brigade of 2nd Division. So he will go on one of the units that is part of the 2nd. That's Kellerman there. That's the 1st Brigade. Let's see what's back over here. That's not. Does he have any? Oh, no. He doesn't have any. So we won't even put him on. His, he had 2 battalions, and they both have been eliminated. So, okay. We do have reinforcements that are making their way here. Not that they're going to make it very far. I don't know if they're really going to have much of an impact. We've got this turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns left. So let's have to wait to see what they do. Command segment. We have the initiative phase. So we're going to roll, and the British get a 1, the French get a 3, and so we get a +3 there, and a +2 here. So this becomes a 4. This becomes a 5. And if we look over here, the British with only 4, well, they do get 1 order. So, and the French with 5, they only get 1 order. Now, of course, the French can roll 4 orders, but we still have to roll. All right, so, and this unit here that, see if you can see that one. This unit here, where's my red block? That unit right there looks like a French unit, but it's not. And I don't know why. Why did they color? It's like, why did they color that? Why did they color that unit like that? I guess because all of the cavalry is identified with a blue color for the British. But they made this color it matches too much up with Charlot and, with Lasson's division. And I don't know why they did that. But, so I was confused when I saw it one time on the map. I was like, oh, that's a French gun. But no, it's not. It even has an F on it, make you think, oh, that's a French gun. Nope. No, it's not. Okay, we got to remove that attack. Oh, we hit the arm of, okay. So, okay, let's move this out of the way. And so, the French want to go first. So the British have to decide who they want to give this to. And I think they want to give it right over here. They want to continue to try to push against the French left. So they're going to give it to Bows. Bows. Bow wow. And then the French, they want to give theirs. They want to give this attack order to Weiss, who's bringing that cavalry across. And so, and see, he's out of command of his division, but we're just giving him the command there. Who has ordered him to come across. And so now we want to move to the initiative, the command attachment. I don't know that we have any like command attachments that we want to make. We don't really. Let's see what we got here. And this is okay. That's okay. Yeah, that belongs to 2nd Brigade. There's still a lot of ammo. So we don't really have, that's 1st Brigade. Don't have anybody that really, anything to it attach anywhere. So we'll just leave it like that. Then we go to the order phase, which we already did. And then we now move to the order initiative phase. So this is where the French can attempt to acquire orders through initiative. And so we have, let's see, Lasson, who has a range. He's with Pettit. He's got a range of 4. And the thing is, oh, this is Delaboard's over here. Yeah. Where is, oh, no, where is the other leader? Is he back? No, this is Huno back here. Oh. Okay, there's nobody left. Okay, so Lasson has a 2. If we close in to, okay, so there we go. Lasson has a 2 here. And if we want to save Huno's initiative that he has. He's got a 2. We want to save that for some of these other units. So we're just going to roll. We got to get a 0 or a 1. Got a 6. Okay, so he doesn't get an order. And then we go to Kellerman. Kellerman next door here. This disc here. He's got a 3. Now, if we give him who knows 2, then he got a 5. So that's what we're going to do. And it's for an attack order. We rolled a 4, so he gets an attack order. Kellerman does. Okay. So now, let's pull back. We've got, let's see here. Loosen that a little bit. There we go. So we can turn here. There we go. Let me pull back some more. Okay. So we're looking for, here's Delaboard. Now Delaboard has a range of 4. And one of his units is here. Now, I have to check here to see on command range about zone of control. Let's see what it says about command range. Okay, it just says, okay. In order for such a path of hex to be valid, it must be through terrain passable to leaders, free of enemy combat units, free of enemy zone of control, and hex is not also occupied by friendly combat units. So, that's not going. Here is Delaboard. His command range cannot move into this hex because this unit and this unit both have a zone of control over that hex. So he's going to be out of command. Messler. There's one. So he'll be out of command, which means that all of his units will be out of command. Okay, so this unit here is out of command. How many of those do I have? Do I have enough out of command markers? I don't think so. Oh no. That's not good. I don't remember what the backside. Which one of these? What's the backs? What's on the back of these? Oh, prone. Well, I'll just use this one. I don't need them over here anyways. Out of the way. So he'll be out of command. He's out of command. This guy's out of command. Okay. So I got that marked. Okay. So, but I haven't rolled for Delabord yet. But where is Thomes? Okay. Tomeres. He's over here. There he is. So he's in within range of Delabord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I could roll for them. And so I'm going to also add who knows rating there as well. So that'll be the other time I can use who knows rating. So that puts him at a 5. So we have to roll a 4 or less. Roll a 6, so they don't get an order. So we pull back here, and then we look at the cavalry over here, and we look, and we see. Let's see. Not here. Here it is. I think it's these guys here. Yeah. Slom as a 1. So we have to roll a 0. And guess what? I rolled a 0. So he has an attack order, but I don't think he's going to be able to use it. But he's got a range of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He can reach this officer over here. Theron. Okay. All right, so there we go. And I already stated that the French are going to go first. So we're going to jump right into the recovery segment, which is the rally phase, the cavalry recovery phase, the artillery resupply phase. And I just do them all together. Instead of going across the map doing one, I just do them together. So we're going to start over here on the French right with this unit right there. I rolled a 37, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be a pass. Yeah, he failed. But he does get to remove 1 spent marker. Okay, then we move here. And that'll be removal of a spent marker. And we've got a disordered, so that'll be a -5. We get a +2, so it's a -3. And I rolled a 72, so okay. That unit would be able to possibly charge. Okay, we go to here. So we remove a spent marker. The unit is shaken. Okay, this is going. 55. Okay, -10 is 45, so they will be just disordered. And then we go to this unit, who's shaken. Move a spent marker. So -10 +2, so it's -8. 21, they still shake. They stay shaken. Okay, then we go here. Move the spent marker. -10. 45 becomes 35, so now they stay as they are. Okay, here, got a low ammo. So we got -5 +6, so that's going to be a +1. 75, so they're no longer disordered. Okay, that unit can't check because he's in the enemy zone of control. This unit, okay, '62. They're gonna go to disordered. Okay. See what we got. Okay, they don't have any issue. That unit there can't check. Let's get this unit back here first. I have this unit here with a aide de camp. -5 +2. 64, so they recovered. Okay. And we move there. We've got, okay, so they're disordered. So -5, 37, they stay disordered. Okay, that unit. Okay, nothing there. This unit here is disordered. That's what that green disc means. So we roll for them. That's -5. 23, they stay as they are. I've actually got a disordered marker now I can put on them. Okay. Okay. Now, all these units over here can't check. Okay, neither can that unit or that unit or this unit. So we are done with that. Now we can check for resupply on artillery. And let's see here. Well, no, let's see. I need to check right here. There's a green disc. And so +10, -5 is a +5. Rolled an 11. So we actually have a disordered. So they stay disordered. Okay. Now we can roll for this artillery. 4, so no. That's not on They're not on a road. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. That'll be it. Okay, so now we can pull back and we can move to the fire segment. And let's see here, we'll just start. We'll just start right here. So, okay, now this unit is in column. How do I know that? Well, they've got that red disc underneath them. That tells me. And then this unit is in column. Okay. Got 2 liters. Okay, so let's see here. They're in column. They're shaken. That starts with a 1 minus 1, so they're at 0, but the target is in column. So that means they've got a +1. So they're back to 1. All right, 77, a morale check. And they're disordered. They roll a 64, which becomes a 59. So they're still, they don't falter. So no, nothing happens there on that one. So then we move over here and see, we're in scrub here. This unit is shaken. Let's get this shaken one here. I don't think I have any British. Yeah, I don't right now. So, all right, so this unit is shaken. And they're not in line. They're in column. So they're going to have a 0. 82. There's going to be a morale check. The defenders rolled an 80, so they're going to pass. Okay. Now this unit's the target. Okay. Now, this unit is in line because they've got that blue disc underneath them. So they've got a strength of 5. -1 because they're shaken. So they're going to have a strength of 4 against the British units there. And a 59. Okay, it's going to be a morale check -10. They rolled an 11, so they're going to be shaken and forced back. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So then we're going to move up here. All right. Can actually see if I can move this slide a little closer. There we go. All right. That. So here, okay, we've got skirmishers. This has got, okay, there's eight guys here. So that's going to add a modifier. Okay, so we've got, there's 3 skirmishers They're disorders, so they have a strength of 2. And because there's 8, they get a +1. So now we're at 3. 27, not enough. Okay. So nothing happens there. Okay, we've got this guy's, well, no, this guy can still be this guy's target. So what does he have? Yeah, he's got skirmishers too. So it's the same situation. It's going to be a strength of 3. 27 again. Nothing. Okay, that guy is going to fire here. What's he got? Okay. He's disordered. So he's going to be at 0. $60, not enough. Well, I could come back to here, and he could attack this unit. Let's see what we got here. One skirmisher, disordered. So he'll have a strength of 0. No effect, he rolled a 24. And then this unit firing the same target. He's got an SCD with a strength of 2. This guy is not in shrub. Ooh, shoot. That's what happens when you got all these little counters on top of big counters. Okay, so he's got a strength of 2. Okay. $77. All right, that's a morale check. They rolled a 51. Okay. 51 minus, that's 40 something. So they do not, they're okay. All right. And then Messler here is firing at the stack straight across from him, where Anstruther's at. And they must have a skirmisher there. Yeah. And he's got a skirmisher, so it's going to be 0. I rolled a 4, so no effect there. Let's see, this unit here. What do we got here? Skirmisher. Firing into this village hex here, where we've got, let's see here, strength of 6. And they are in column. But of course, village hex is -1. But they're in column, that's a +1. But that just kind of cancels itself out. I guess that's the purpose. So it's just going to be 0. Okay, 50. That's not enough. Got to roll at least a 69. So then we go to that unit who's going to fire here. They got an SED with a strength of 2. They've got disordered, so that's -1. And these guys are in column. So +1, -1. So they're going to have a strength of 1. Oh, come on. Jeez, I just knocked these guys over. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Okay. That guy's there. That's there. Okay. There we go. All right, so we've got this unit against this unit, and it's strength of 1. Ooh, a 90. The morale check -10. They rolled an 82. They're going to pass. And let's see here. We pull back so that we can look here. Delaborde has is sitting on top of this artillery. But, well, I guess he'd be able to fire right there. And that would be in the flank of this unit here. So Delaborde and that artillery unit. And Delaborde, he increases their firepower by 2. So they have a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 2 more for firing into their flank. That's 8. What do they roll? A 12, which is still a morale check. And they rolled a 61. And they're going to pass. So they want that. And then we have this artillery here. Can fire on these units that are in this village hex here. 1, 2, 3. Low ammo. So that's 4. Strength of 4. 1, 2, 3. Effective. They're in a village that's -1. They're in columns, so +1. Okay, so there's going to be 4. Strength of 4. 34 is going to be a morale check. They rolled a 30, let's see, a 47. -5 is a 42. Plus 2. They passed. So, that artillery, but they become, because they rolled a 34, they become out of ammo. I'm going to have to put that on them. So they are out of ammo. Okay. All right, so now let's move over here. These other units here. Okay, this unit is in column. Okay, strength of 1, disordered -1, 0. 46 is not enough. And here we've got artillery. This bunch here is in column. So if they turn, which they can do, being artillery, turn like so, and they can fire right here on these guys. And that's gonna, let's see, what's the strength of these guys? 6. Okay, in column. They've got a strength of 4. Okay. Canister range, let's put them at 7. Plus 1 for being in column, so it's 8. Strength of 8. Geez, they rolled a 4. Okay, which is nothing. And not only that, but they're out of ammo. Right there, they had an opportunity to blast them, and they didn't do it. Okay, so that's all of the French fire. Now we have the British artillery. That can fire. And one that we can look at here will be this unit, but they're, let's see, they're limbered, so no, they can't fire. But let's see, I thought they had, I guess they had some that had to get out of there. Yeah, to go get ammo. So now where's this shaking supposed to go? Here? Or did it go there? I think it went right. Not for sure where that's supposed to go. I don't think it went on any of these guys. Not on that one. I'll just throw it off. Let's see, where did they have, okay, right here is where they've got artillery. Right there. Under that disordered marker. Low ammo. Okay. And they're going to fire right here at Messler, who's in column. He does have skirmishers, though. That'll be a -1. Okay, so that'll be canister. So strength of 1 plus 3. So 4 plus 1 for being in column. So they're at 5. They have skirmishers -1. So it's back to 4. 11. No, nothing except out ammo. Out of ammo. Excuse me. Yeah, they've got this artillery back here, but they're behind these other units. So they've got to move. So now we move to the movement segment. So here, we're just going to stay put. But here, back here, let's see, whose is this? 2-1. That's 2-1. That's Vimeiro. What's he doing way over here? He should be back over there. Yeah, he's got to go back over that way. So he's going to have an out of order marker. He's got to go back over there. He's got to, yeah, he's got to go all the way back over here. But he's only going to have a movement of, being out of order, he's only going to have a movement of like 4. Yeah. So we turn him like that. It'd be 1. Let's see, does he have to going down? Let's see. No, not going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. He could go like that. He's still going to be out of command there and disordered. Who knows? Going to move up here with this cavalry that's out of ammo. I mean, artillery that's out of ammo. They're not moving. These guys aren't moving. These guys that are in line, they have attack orders, so they can move up. And they don't have to attack. They can just move up and lock those guys in place, sort of. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to move up there. But when they do, say, there's not any with skirmishers, so he could have put a skirmisher out. He could have put 3 out. That's all right. And let's see here. And then Kellerman, 1, 2, 3 over here. This guy'd be out of order. But they're not moving anywhere. They're just staying put. Let's see what we got here. This guy's disordered, but they don't have attack orders. He'd have to roll to see if he can move in there. What's he got? He'd have to try to roll to see if he could move in. I'll just keep him out. Same thing here. But he can stay there and just let him. But then they could get command range. So they do need to move up. All right, so those guys are out of ammo. All right, over here, though, They're gonna, let me move these guys over here. They're getting like pushed around. So, okay, so they have a movement of 7. So they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what I say. 1, 2, 3, 4. That costs 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That costs 6, 7. Okay, so the other two can just go behind. Okay, so I got that taken care of. All right. Now we come back over here, and I want to roll for, we're going to have this guy move forward, or attempt to move forward. He's disordered. So let's see if he can pass his morale. 33, no. So if he fails his morale, let's see. Let's see. I guess we got to go back over to the orders. Where is it at? Oh, here's movement. Okay. Route states. Okay, units are not allowed to retreat. Okay. Into enemy zone of control. Command. I must be looking right past it. Where is it at? It's got to be there. I thought it had to do with, should have been there with movement. Okay. So here's orders. Let's see. So only combat units with an attack order are allowed to initiate an assault or charge. But I know they can't. They're not allowed to move into enemy zone of control unless they have attack orders and unless they pass a morale check. That's okay. Let's see. That's got to be over here with the. Let's see. Disorder check events. I don't see it. Oh, it's got to be. I know it's there somewhere. Shoot. In order to move into. With that, you have to have an order to move into. That's rally checks. We're not looking for rally checks. Oh, come on. Where's that? Yeah, there it is. So infantry that does not have, this is under zones of control, page 71. Infantry that does not have an assault marker must pass a morale check to enter an enemy zone of control. Units that fail worsen their morale state by 1 level, retreating if necessary. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So they failed, which means they become shaken and have to move back a hex. Okay. So that might discourage this unit. No, they're going to go ahead and roll. Okay, so that unit is now going to roll. Be this unit to see if they can move forward. At 18, so no. And I don't have any more. I've got to use one of these green discs. So they don't move forward. So we're not going to roll those guys. Okay. Now what we will do, Delaboard, and this unit here is going to prolong movement and go forward. And turn just like that. And then these units back here are going to limber up and move back toward the road. So they were here. They're going to move back up toward the road here. Let's see. Yeah, they both limbered. So that cost 4. And they've got 7. So going up that slope, though, well, it's not really a slope yet. But it's going to cost, okay, just +1. So That's 4, 5, 6, and then 7 right there. That's where they go. And then, let's see, this unit here, his leader is right there. So he's going to be out of command. So he only has the movement. He's going to throw up an SED. Like so. And he has to move up here closer to get within command range, what he's trying to do. So, well, he can move through that guy, but then he'd have to roll. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and he'll have to stop like that. Okay. This guy here belongs to this Vimeiro. Let's move this. Let's move this cavalry while we're still thinking about things here. Okay, so they're in line. Okay. 10 in line. And moving up a slope, it's going to cost +2. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I think moving up or down. Let's see. So I guess maybe it's just moving up. Down's not going to cost them anything extra. Oh, expressed as up/down cost. But, okay. So without the slash, well, it doesn't really say. So is it up and down? I guess it is up and down. Okay, so going down would cost them +2 also. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they go right there. And then here, they got to go across that dry stream, which is only +1. Okay. But are they going down? Yeah, they're going down. So that's down +2. Okay. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 right there. And then this one will just be right there. I'll have to go back counting that out. So really, they didn't accomplish much. So basically, get rid of that. And somebody, okay. So, okay, so now over here, we've got this artillery here is out of ammo. So they're going to limber, which is 4. I've got to put a limber on them. So they're going to limber 4, and they're going to move back to this road. So let's see here. Okay, so they can just move back right here. Okay. And so now this unit here, they can throw out a skirmisher. And this unit, so Vimeiro is going to move back with his artillery. Try to get them resupplied rather quickly. And so this unit is going to move back and allow this unit to come forward. Right there. Okay. This cavalry is going to move back to here. And so will this one. I just would reverse face and come back to here where that guy's at. Now this one way over here can actually charge. And so that square so actually we can move this guy back. Back to there. He can move to here and then declare his charge after turning, like so. So that's what he's going to do. And that's going to be the only thing combat-wise we're going to have, because no one else declared an assault. It's kind of dangerous to declare an assault when you're right next to. You've got to have some momentum. The men's got to have a little bit of room to start moving forward to build up their confidence. So, all right. And really, I should have had this guy move back further, and then that guy move over here and be like in this spot, you know, because you want to give him several squares to to build up his momentum, you know. And again, I wasn't really thinking. But that's what we got going on. So we're going to have the charge there, and he's going to move into this hex here, and he's going to attack this hex. So, okay, so what we have is we've got a shaken unit that's in a square. So now we have to have our, so with a charge, we have the charge movement, empty target hex, no. Retreat before combat, no. So combat versus infantry. So we check the defender morale. All right. So they're shaken. So that's -10. Target's in a square. So that's +20. So now we're at +10. They don't have a skirmisher. They're not charged from the flank or rear. The charging unit CVM, which is 1 plus the leader. Okay, so that's 2. Times 5 is 10. So now we're just at flat 0. So, no modifier. And they rolled a 12. So, they are going to break. Okay. So, if the defenders were forced to retreat, proceed to advance after combat. All right, so they are forced to retreat. Okay, let's move this. So they go to break and have to retreat 3 hexes. No longer in square. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 is where they go. All right. Now, when this unit advances, okay, they get fired at from this square. Let me pull back here because that's okay. So this is where this unit retreated to. So we have to move this unit in. Okay. So they're firing through their front. They're going to have a strength of 1. They're disordered. So that's going to be a 0, but they get a +1 for the cavalry, for the target being cavalry. They rolled a 99. Okay, so a 99, what I say, a 1? Okay, so it's morale -15, and the French rolled an 11. So they're going to be, well, they're going to be disordered. And of course, because they moved in, they're disordered. So I guess they got disordered before they actually moved in. So, okay, so that's where they ended up right there. Okay. But this is who they were after. And so we have to go to advance after combat. Okay, so attacking units that are in a normal morale state enter disorder. At least one attack unit must advance after combat if the target hexes are now empty, if the target hex is now empty. If the target stack was eliminated or if pursuit is not possible, skip the pursuit. And of course, the pursuit's not going to be possible because they entered the zone of control of another unit. So, but it says the pursuit is mandatory, but you can't pursue if you enter a zone of control. So, and I'm not for sure exactly whether the cavalry would be disordered and then they're being fired upon, or because they're moving, or they only become disordered as they move into the hex. It says attacking units that are in a normal morale state enter disorder. At least one attacking unit must advance after combat. So I guess they would enter disorder, and then they would move, which then would mean this is going to cause them to be shaken, which is going to cause them, instead of there, they would be pushed back to here. And that's what we've got. And we don't have to worry about rolling for pursuit. And that takes care of that attack. And it also takes care of the French phase. So we can stop this video here and pick it up with the next one with the British phase, which will mainly be focusing on the British right flank over here, trying to turn the French left before the cavalry can get over here. And the cavalry's on their approach. And when that happens, of course, these guys are going to have to be turned into squares. Excuse me. Which is going to open up them for attacks, being fired at by infantry and artillery while in a square. So that really kind of have just a bloody standstill. Of course, the French, are trying to push the British back into the sea. Maybe try to push them across that river, cause a lot of casualties that way. I guess kind of the possession of those two hills and Vimeiro are key, but this has been quite bloody for both sides. The Somme only has there's only one battalion left and one artillery battery left in his division. Everything else is gone. And the British have lost one brigade, pretty much all of the Portuguese, so that's basically two brigades, and then Ferguson Brigade only has one battalion and a company left. And so, and Wellesley's assets are all gone except for an artillery. So it's pretty bloody on both sides. This is pulled back. the French just haven't been able to break those squares. And, of course, they're going about it the wrong way. They're trying to overrun them with cavalry, and they need to just swing some artillery over there, which, they've got to either go up here to Toledo, because of this stream here. And see, they did get that right. They got the fact right that artillery didn't have easy access to over there to the French right, but they can get access right here if they come down far enough. Why didn't they do that? With the infantry and the cavalry, where to make it much more difficult by way of movement and morale. It should have been, if they would have turned that into where it was a hexite obstacle, then that would have at least provided more of a historical relevance to the terrain. I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Oh, that's not right either. Here it is. Stream would have been a hexite obstacle. So see, you could just say, okay, that's a hexite obstacle, and it would have cost a cavalry +3 to cross. Artillery would not have been able to cross, which they can't cross even the dry stream. But it would have been, a dry stream, it's only +1 for cavalry. And it's just the other terrain. It's not so... the terrain is supposed to be difficult in that area. But we've already went over that, multiple times now. But it just bothers me. Yeah, I should have, I shouldn't have even worried about trying to attack over there. Send like Lasson's smaller division, as a feint over there, and keep your cavalry and everybody else over on this other side, where you've got maneuvers, you've got terrain that's a little bit easier maneuvering, plus, if they would have went to squares, I would have had their artillery and the infantry to do something about it. So, lessons learned, I guess. But it's a lesson that I should already know from all the Napoleonic games that I've played. I just sent the cavalry over there all alone. They don't work very well alone, due to the fact that infantry can go to square. And then it's very difficult to crack that nut. So, and the mechanics of the game, they really present that pretty well. That's what I like, is it's the way the skirmishers are handled, the way the infantry versus cavalry, artillery versus cavalry and infantry are all handled, and the way the cavalry versus infantry not in square is handled to me is very relative to what you read in these reports, firsthand accounts, and the historical books. So, I really think they got all of that right. And they've really got top-notch artwork and charts and rule book and giving you the historical details and so forth. But I've already talked about the downside. But you got to take it as it is, and then you can adjust. It's if you've watched my videos, I don't like that. And I've either sold games that I had because there were certain things that I just didn't like and I couldn't get over it. And I don't see myself doing that with this, because I can easily make my own rule about units crossing. And I would just mainly what I would do is I would just change this to a stream. And by doing that, when those units move across it, they're going to have to do a morale check. Plus the higher cost to their movement to cross back and forth across this. Artillery still can't cross this, so their artillery is still going to have to go way around here to Toledo. But of course, the terrain should be much steeper, all in this area right here. Okay, so that, they went around here to Fontanelle, and then, they were coming down this road like that. And it's actually in Fontanelles where they encountered Ferguson and the other units that were over here on the eastern ridge. So they didn't get much past Fontanelle. But the terrain in here, you shouldn't be able to get up here to Toledo and just go straight, like diagonal down to this, toward the river there. But you could house rule some stuff here. Like I said, you could even just toss these things out, put them on here and just say, okay, that's a ridge or whatever, and you're having to go up, and there's different things you could do to modify if you wanted to get a more historical simulation. But so Huneau, which is me, has made a grave mistake in the way he handled his cavalry and the way that he handled this attack. My plan kind of sucked. Just to be frank, it was not much better than his. And you just can't attack across the whole front. You got to make them think they're attacking across the whole front, but you outnumber them where you want to attack. Wherever it is you want to attack, you got to outnumber your opponent. And if you can get 3-1, that's better than 2-1. And you have to take advantage of what you have, which is, you've got cavalry, you've got more cavalry than the British. Take advantage of that. You can bring in more. I think he might have had more guns, maybe not. I think maybe he did. But I think overall size, I think Wellesley had the bigger force. So planning is so important. And if nothing else, you can look at this and say, well, yeah, I've got, you got a plan better than that guy. And, when you play against yourself, you kind of already have an idea of what yourself is going to do. So if you've got someone to play against, or even a group of people, then you don't know exactly what they're going to do, how they're going to react. So I think it makes it a lot more fun. And the other thing is, it's you're going to be surprised at what your opponent does sometimes, like what actually happened. So, if you find someone that you can, play against, all the better. Or even a club or something, a group of people. Unfortunately, there's just not that many people where I live that are interested. They're interested in high-tech stuff, computer games and PlayStation, Xbox, all that. I don't care nothing about any of that. I'm not even a fan of the computer games. Now, Vassal, but I don't really even do that. I don't hardly do any Vassal. I have in the past. I've played people, but I like to be able to see the whole thing. It's on the computer. You got to scroll around to see everything, and I don't know. I don't like that. I like to be able to look at the whole thing all at once. But so we've got the French phase is over, and the next video will deal with the British phase.